What's going on, traders? We did it. 16 straight days of green profitability trades. What's going on, traders? We did it. 16 straight green days from November into December. Now we're starting off the new year with the streak still intact. So maybe tune in next week. Maybe we have 17, 18. Who knows? But welcome back to a new video. Kicking off the new year with our second video here. Hopefully, had a good winter break, good holiday break. Let's ramp up this new year with some momentum. But in this video, I want to talk about how I got those 16 days because if you've seen that 25 days of trading series I did in December, we were working our way up to matching it, and then we beat it by a day and beat it by another day. So we'll see where we go from here. But I want to show some of the markups that you hadn't seen that got me to this point, as well as some of the lessons of even trades I didn't take, but just the overall lessons of how did I achieve this feat, because it is actually, the more I looked at it, pretty impressive. Just the quarter that I had, but obviously this streak as well of having 16 straight green. Now, of course, they're not all home run days. Some of the green are going to be survival days, like we've talked about, of $50 where I had a loss, I bounced back. But I'm going to definitely take that. I'm not going to discredit that and say that doesn't count. That's a nice, solid way to finish the day green. So let's look at the trade Zella here to start off with. It goes back to, like I said, the last week of November, that first green week, and then all of December, which is why I had the 13 days here and 3 in November. But a solid streak to end the year. And then here in January, no trades yet. So the streak still is alive. I wonder what we can get that up to. But just along that streak, 11.8K, 72% trade win percentage. That's probably the best of my most recent months of. I like that a lot, being a little bit better than 65, 70%. Obviously, the day win percentage looking beautiful at 100%. I definitely like seeing that. But let's just take a look at some of the markups here. You might have seen some of them, but I just really want to focus on, it is my bread and butter. So I'm just going to go over and over again until you really understand the concepts of why I'm getting into these trades, and obviously what could be better. Because looking at this one, we have a bearish open to start. Our blue view up here is yesterday's New York. So the one thing I've said on plenty of times, it's not the best setup. That if this wasn't in the way, a beautiful setup. Since it's in the way, it's an alright setup because it definitely could have bounced off that yesterday's New York and continued higher, because you'll see other markups where I'm using it as a support level. But in this case, I just had a lot of conviction in that short, being that sellers defended this level quite nicely and we're getting another break back below. I had faith that we could move lower just because of the bearish open that we had. Buyers really didn't even give a strong attempt there with just the wick above, where maybe if it was a little more solid, I would have been hesitant. But since it was so weak up there, sellers quickly brought us back lower, all within the same 15-minute candle. I was looking for this to continue lower, and it does. Just riding the trend off my key levels, off my key VWAPs, and same thing, not chasing this first break outside the open range low, and then the most I would get out of it is maybe to there, seeing the pullback happen, and I sell it maybe a little bit lower of a price, but there's now more room to be had. That's all it's about. It's not getting a way different price. Sometimes it ends up being the same price, just 10 minutes later, now a lot less stress free. This one was the beautiful one where Austin tried to fade me. Interesting choice there. But again, not super trending yet. But again, a lot of conviction in the shorts because we probably don't want a double break, right? You could barely see it. We broke out the bottom of the opening range low. So now there's only a 52% chance that we break out of the top. So when it was above New York, all right, maybe we do go get it. It is 52. It definitely could happen. But then once we got back below it, I was like, okay, well, now that 52 seems unlikely, that sellers are right back in. We probably don't want to go higher. Let's go lower here because we are going into an all-time high view up. But actually on the 15-minute, we were a little bit below it. So it looks a little bit different. But even the other lessons that you probably hadn't seen because I didn't take these trades, still two viable options later on in the morning. If you miss this entire move, you definitely could take this one. How could we be more picky? Well, it's the same price here, right? So it's price that pays. You weren't wrong on wanting to sell it at this price. It just wasn't ready to pop until later. Maybe because this is the time it fully retests the New York view up after such a strong move. I'd like to see a full retest because we're a little exhausted. I want to just see small pullbacks and another monster rip. I like to see us fully reset. But also at the end of the day, if you do take this one, I think you just got to take it on the chin and be willing to get back in because it's the same price. It wasn't invalidated yet, and you're able to make that money back at that same price, selling it in the same direction. This is one that I did not take, but it's a key lesson because I feel like a lot of people took longs earlier on in the morning. I mean, we could even mark this one up like a break of high day there after bouncing off New York view up here. That's a really nice setup. But the one above my head here, is it a new high day? Another pullback? Clearly, we're still making higher lows, Evan. I still want to be long bias. That's absolutely true. The two lessons I would say is very, very overextended, in my opinion, of just, I mean, look at the 15-minute on the left. Straight up, straight elevator up, and now your entry on the 1 minute would be somewhere up in here. That's a very small pullback, a lot of gray space looking to be filled, in my opinion. As well as I don't have it marked up on here. I didn't notice it until someone else sent a markup that the all-time high view up was running right across you. It actually was a little bit lower and it hit it right here. So you're trading into those key resistance levels, which is why I would definitely not want to take this trade on top of the fact that we are pretty overextended. So I think those two lessons alone should probably keep you out of this long, even though it looks super trending when you're zoomed in on the 1 minute here. A little bit high, not off a key level, actually into a key resistance level that you'd want to be buying it a little bit lower, off an opening range high or off a New York VWAP. That was the play on that day. Now, this is another good one of, could you buy this sometimes on a break of high day VWAP and it runs higher? Absolutely. We've seen plenty of markups like that. But I'm going to be picky to what do I want to see? What is my best setup? What's led me to get 16 straight green days and just more comfortable and confident in my setup, seeing it fully off a key level. This one's right off the New York VWAP. Here's my full retest. Now the break of high day, and now it runs cleanly. Same lesson as that short one. It's not a bad price wanting to buy it here. It's about the timing that I'm buying it there, right? Because this is the price that pays if you bought it at this break of high day and this break of high day, it's the same price. One person won, one person lost because it's about the timing. So I want to see that full retest saying buyers fully took a break. Now they're ready to step back in. We're ready to continue trend. And I've said it plenty of times. If this pops from here, that's all right. I'm fine missing that move because I've seen plenty of markups. When these don't win, they pull back like this to a full key level retest or a key VWAP retest and then moves higher. So I have plenty of patience, not fearing that I'm going to miss out on a giant move because I'll find my piece. I'll find my trade somewhere else. This one's a little bit different. We touched on this a little bit, I think, in one of the videos because it doesn't look like one of my best trades. But another key part of the success of having 16 straight green days is getting a little bit outside of the pocket and just using my discretion with my experience. In this case, this red line below me is the midnight open price, which had a 80% chance of wanting to be engaged with on that day. So once buyers couldn't hold this control up here, and we're back below that New York VWAP, kind of like we were back here at the open 2 times. I know there's an 80% chance we go down to this red line. That's very, very strong. So maybe this is the time we do it because buyers didn't just bounce us off this opening range high and New York VWAP, which is what I would be looking for if I was looking for longs, right? New high day, pull back to our key level, and now bounce higher. Since that didn't happen, and there's a very high probability target below me, this short makes sense. I can get a good stop loss back outside that opening range high because, just like I said, if it were to break up there, I'd probably be looking for longs because now we'd be back above the high day VWAP, the opening range high, and the New York VWAP. So yeah, get me out of my shorts. So I had good risk reward, a clear target of 80% of the time. So I was comfortable taking that short. And now if you even look at it on the right side of the screen or even on the 15-minute here, it's actually still very bullish on the day, which is why it's a tough short if you didn't have that 80% probability, but using that edge full stat definitely will help you because now I'm trading it down to that level, engage that price, and now you can actually find a long back up into trend because since yesterday, still building higher lows. Today's intraday is still pretty choppy, but more so higher highs, higher lows that you could have actually longed it right after my short, and it does come back down in the afternoon, but still could have longed it somewhere up to there because that is the intraday trend of higher highs and higher lows. So if you don't take that short, you could still find a long, or you could even make money in both directions. One more here. This one's really clean of just not getting induced into these shorts because I feel like a huge, huge part of my success in the past month and a half, even the last Q4, was using the bigger picture of that 15-minute, right? I'd say the two biggest things have been a yesterday's New York VWAP as well as the daily VWAP today, we'll call it, which is what I read on the 15-minute. I think I have a mark above it here on this one, where on the right side, that's the inducement of trying to trap shorts that people think we're going lower here. On the left side, we're just leaving this pin to the daily. Still building clear higher highs and higher lows today. So although we look like we're moving lower, the shorts aren't the high probability move or the high probability play. It's definitely more so still buyers in control above key VWAPs. It's actually just retesting a key one where I probably want to buy it off of. So you probably could have argued along even earlier after it broke above the New York. I waited a little bit longer for extra confirmation of, okay, yeah, we did get that new high day. Nice, that's what I wanted. Then it pulls back to New York, break of high day. I'm able to catch the money there. So it's the same idea. I probably could have, like I was saying, got it a little bit sooner because I had that conviction on the 15-minute, but I still waited for structure to line up a little bit better because it is tough to long it down here when you are making lower highs and lower lows. So that's why I was a little bit more patient, but just clearly looking at that 15-minute, oh, I don't want this short at all. This looks terrible for shorts. I'm right into a key VWAP here on the 15-minute, running right along there. So actually, we might be building a higher low. Let me still look for in-trend longs. We have plenty of examples of that in November, especially around the election. Now, this one, real quick, cookie cutter, best trade of the day. I'd say probably of the month. It just doesn't get any cleaner than this because it almost looks fake of these two pins to the New York VWAP are as perfect as it gets, right? The two pins down, it's beautiful. But realistically, not chasing that first break outside the open range high. There's check one. I am looking for longs today, but I don't want to chase that first breakout because I just don't normally see that run. All right, so it pulls back. Well, let me just make sure that sellers don't step right back in and we go and double break this opening range high because that is always in the cards. So let me see if buyers can defend it. Okay, nice, they do. And now we're breaking back outside the opening range high and the high debut up a second time. So again, same price that I could have got 10 minutes ago, but I didn't have to suffer this drawdown, maybe even gotten stopped out. And now I'm getting in when it's ready to pop higher without any stress of pullback because the pullback just happened. And now you can see it's above high debut up the entire time, continuing the clean trend that we had from the open of just clean higher highs and higher lows. No doubt about it that I want to be long, but patience. Let me wait for my spot. I know where I want to buy it. I know what I want to see. I know where my stop's going to go. Let me just wait for it to happen. If it doesn't happen right now, maybe it'll happen in an hour. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. But I'm going to be patient until that does happen. All right. So there's pretty much the biggest lessons of the 15-minute being a huge, huge part of it, as well as the yesterday's New York edge reports as well, always coming in clutch with the target that I'm either going towards or I'm fading. But yeah, a solid, solid month of trading because I think it was like November 25th to pretty much December 25th because I didn't really trade the last week. So it's a month of trading, but 16 straight green days, beautiful way to cap off the year. And like I said, we're carrying this streak into the new year. It's now the second. I haven't had a trade yet this year on the Thursday, but we'll see what tomorrow brings, and obviously the rest of the month. But also, I know you know this, we're gonna have a red day at some point very soon. So just got to take it on the chin and learn from it, not be too over risked, accept the loss when it happens. We're not gonna be perfect, that's fine. But these are pretty much the biggest lessons in the setups that did it. I'm looking forward to a nice, great year. All these setups I just went over are all taught on ASFX TV in the Futures 2.0 course. You saw a lot of the breaks, a lot of the bounces, all-time high, how I manage them, right? Everything that I do and everything I trade on ASFX TV streams are here in the course. And then once you go through that, come over to the live streams and watch me take them live. Every Monday through Thursday or even Monday through Friday with Austin and James, we'll be trading the New York Open. So come on, join us. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a great start to the year. We're going to be doing a lot of uploads like we are. Not 25 straight days like we did in December, but I appreciate you guys all tuning into that. But we got a great year ahead of us. A lot of great trading. Make sure you leave a like, share it with a friend. I'll see you guys on the desk tomorrow morning.